Hi, I'm Andrew Berry and welcome to At the Bench's YouTube channel. In the last video that I did, I showed you how to correctly solder on an earring post and how to harden it and how to put the groove in the back for the scroll to locate into and round the end and so forth. I shall link it up by here if you haven't checked it out already. And there was a couple of comments left regarding, well, can you show how to finish off that earring back? And that's what this film is going to be all about. So the earring in question was this one here, and it was just a simple disc stamped out of a piece of sheet with a disc cutter and a post that we manufactured. We made from 0.8mm wire, soldered it correctly into place, showed different techniques on how to solder it, strengthened it, rounded the end and so forth. And that is what we're left with. It's nice and clean, as you can see. Now, the problem that you may have is trying to polish this area around the back. Now, one thing that I didn't touch on when in the last film was how we go about cleaning and polishing up the disc. Now, what I would do normally is I would polish the back of this disc so it's nice and shiny, nicely polished, nice and clean, high shine to it. I would then put that little divot to solder the post into place, or when I solder it into place, I would protect the surface with some fire scoff or some borax, some flux to protect that lovely shiny surface, which makes our life a lot easier when it comes to cleaning up the earring after we've soldered the post and strengthened the post and so forth into place. It would make our life so much easier because all you have to do is just get a really nice soft little rouge little mop just to go over the back, just to bring that high shine back. But if, like in this instance, we didn't clean the back of the earring, we didn't make sure it was polished, it was just as it was, it's going to need polishing, it's going to need cleaning up. Now, there are several mops that you can buy to go in your Dremel or your flex shaft, a pendant motor and so forth, that is going to really help make this so easy. Don't try and use a bench mounted polishing motor for cleaning this little area around the back, because the mops are going to touch this earring post, it's going to bend, it's going to rip it, it's going to make a hell of a mess of it. It's also too big, it's too fast, and you can't get that precise polish exactly where you need it. So I have got a nice little flex shaft by the side of me here, and I got some mops in front as well. Let me just quickly run through the sort of mops that you could use. To get a nice satin finish upon the back of the piece, you can easily use these little steel and brass brushes. These are great. They impart a little bit of a texture and bring it up to sort of a satin sheen across the back of the piece. If you use the brass, what you may find is that you may have a little bit of a gold or brassy sheen to it, because the brass actually does colour the silver. We've got something like a Scotch Brite. If you have quite a bit of perhaps fire scale to get off the back of the piece, a Scotch Brite wheel like this, it is quite rough. This is really good. You do have to be careful that you don't get the edges of this against the earring post. Remember, it's less than 1mm in diameter and it can easily be polished and worn away. So if you're going to use one of these, be really careful. You've also got these Scotch Brite wheels, Gary Flex wheels, 3M wheels, and this sort of rubber wheel with these little flexible fins on the end. These are brilliant. These are absolutely fantastic, and they do the job really good. They will really get into that area in between the post and the back of the earring and clean up that area. Absolutely fabulous. They're a very good choice. I love them. There's these little hard little sort of Calico Mops. These are great, but again, you're not going to get into that little area between the post and the earring back very well with something like this, although if this is all you got, it's better than nothing. A nice bit of in fact, oh, there we go, that's what it used to look like, a nice brand new little Calico Mop there. Yes, no problem, you can use that with a little bit of pre-polish to get some of the scratches that may be on it and bring it up to a nice sort of pre-polish. Now, my favorite, and everybody always asks me, Andrew, where can I get these brushes from? Well, if you ask your local supplier, and I know in the US, Rio Grande don't sell these. but they sell something similar. But if enough of you pester Rio Grande for these wheels, they will get them in for you. If you're in the UK, you can get them from Betts Metal Sales, Sutton Tools, absolutely brilliant. All the other tool suppliers sell them as well. So what's so special about this wheel? I love it. It's a nylon brush. It's 21 millimeters in diameter, 2.35 millimeter shank. It'll fit in most quick release handpieces, and they're absolutely brilliant. If you've got a bristle brush, a goat's hair brush, natural bristle brush, yeah, that's pretty good as well. That will do the job nearly as good. But these mops I absolutely love. I rave about them all the time, and I think they are the answer to basically a lot of people's prayers. And they do wear down into this. This is one that I've used quite a bit, and I don't throw them away. I really do keep them, because although they wear, they still have their needs. If you want to just really get into a nice little nook or a little cranny, nook and cranny, crook and nanny, nook and cranny. Get in there to get a bit of a polish. So enough talking, let me just quickly show you what we're going to do. Quickly show you how we're going to polish it. Always wear eye protection. If you don't wear glasses like me, always put some eye protection on, because it has been known for these little bristles to come flying out into your face. I find that the natural bristle brushes, or the goat's hair brushes, really do shed the bristles, and they do fly out, hit your face, stick in your clothes. I find that these little nylon brushes like this hardly ever shed. They only wear down. So what am I going to do? I've got one in my flex shaft already. This is one that I've used a couple of times, as you can see. It's black now because I've used some Tripoli with it. You can use a pre-polish, you can use Menzurna pre-polish, and so forth. So what we're going to do, we're going to charge it up, and we're literally going to hold it at an angle. So the bristles will get right up against the edge. Now, if you have just soldered the post onto the back, or like this, you just soldered the cufflink onto the back of the piece, and the back of the piece looks like this. Well, you're never going to clean that. You're never going to polish that. So ideally, you would put that into the acid. You would make sure that that is really clean. Make sure there's no flux. The flux will dissolve in a nice warm acid bath, a nice warm pickle bath. And you need to get rid of all this crud, all this oxides around the back of the earring to start off with. If you try and polish this, it's never ever going to work. You can see how bad that is. So make sure that the back is cleaned. I've got these little samples here. This is another lovely example, soldered a rectangular wire on a piece of silver, demonstration purposes. This can be cleaned very nicely, and even coming down to doing some granulation like this, this little brush will clean in between those little balls really, really easy, where something like this would not even get anywhere near. So quickly, let me just show you what we're going to do. I said I wasn't going to be long. Charge up your brush, get in between and just run it. Try not to look directly over the brush, because the polish will come off in your face. Always put your face to the one side. So run it around, run it close to the post, turn it round, keep charging it. Don't run it at a very high speed. Don't do this. It's just far, far too fast. Run it at around a half speed. This pendant motor can go up to, what can it go up to? 18,000 revs, nowhere near. I would never ever take it up to that sort of speed. Halfway is a nice sort of speed. So you can use this to come over the back nice and easily. Make sure that the piece is on something flat. If you've got a texture or pattern or a diamond or stone set into the front of this, well then get a piece of rag onto the bench peg, put that down on top to protect the face of it. In this case, it doesn't matter. So go over the back, nice and easy. I always keep recharging the polish on here. And the post isn't going to need a lot of cleaning up, so I wouldn't really worry too much about trying to get this bristle brush on the post. The important part is right where that solder joint is. So once we've done that, if you want to put the post flat onto your peg, just run this over very, very lightly. If you push down too hard, it's likely to push the post across, but just gently go over it. And what I'm doing is just imparting a little bit of a polish. You can use the same brush to go over the front of the earring if you wanted to, on the edge and so forth. So that now has had a nice preliminary polish. I would put that into the ultrasonic or some hot soapy water, and then when that comes out of the ultrasonic, I would get a nice little wheel like this one. This is a lovely little soft wheel. Now, you don't want to use these bristle brushes with rouge. The bristles are quite hard, so a fairly hard bristle, fairly hard brush needs sort of pre-polish. You have a lovely soft mop, lovely soft cuddly, ooh, lovely and soft, but then you need that with a bit of rouge. If you use these hard bristle brushes with the rouge, you're not going to get anywhere. Likewise, if you try and use these little soft brushes here with Tripoli, it's not going to do an awful lot. Have separate brushes for your Tripoli to your rouge, and in this case I would never use the bristle brushes with rouge, and likewise I'd never use my lovely soft brushes with Tripoli. So put that through the ultrasonic, make sure that is nice and clean. Join me in a split second. And we're back. The advantage of modern technology. All right, so we've done the bristle brush. We're going to get that lovely little soft little mop, put that in our flex shaft. Now, what you don't what you don't want to do is to have the piece on your peg. As you can see, we've got polish. This is Tripoli on here. You put that on top of there and you start to get your mop and run your mop. Your mop is going to pick up the Tripoli that's on the peg. Not advisable. It's not going to get a lovely high finish, and what you think you're putting on is rouge, but actually it's rouge mixed with Tripoli. Tripoli slightly rough. You're not going to get a very good finish. So again, we're going to get our eye protection on. Again, don't look over the piece, come at an angle. Unless I want to go right close to the actual post itself, I'm going to get the polish right on this outside edge. And now I can just run this ever so gently near the post, as you can see. As you can see on the cloth here, we've got the rouge coming off. Gently does it. Nice, soft, easing down. If you want to recharge, you can do. Nice and gentle, bringing that up to a nice high polish. So good, you can see your face at it. Come onto the post, and again, we're not going to go over this too mad, too wild. Gently just skimming. That lovely soft rouge mop over that post. It's not going to take much more than this, and that's it. Done. If it has gone slightly out of shape and you need to move things back, just get your pliers and just move that back in. But that now, I'm going to pop that into the ultrasonic as well. Very quickly do that, get that nice and clean. Again, this is fantastic ultrasonic. Join me in a second. That'll do. I've got a bad thumb. Okay, and so that's it. You can see how the back of the earring now has got a gorgeous reflective shine in it. Beautiful and shiny. As you can see, it literally only took me a few minutes to get that shine, and the secret is using the right tools. So there we go. That is how we cleaned the back of that particular earring, and the brush and the techniques I've shown you can apply to any type of object where you have a flat plate and a post or a rod or whatever, just like that little piece is there, exactly the same way. The bristle brush is pretty good. Goat's hair brush is pretty good. All the other mops are pretty good, but if you can, pester your supplier for these white nylon brushes. They're 21 millimeters, what's that, 3/4 of an inch, bit more than 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Pester your suppliers to get these in, because I tell you now, these are absolutely brilliant. I'm not being paid by anybody to tell you this, but I love these brushes. We've used them for years and years and years and years and years. Absolutely brilliant. I'll shut up now. My name's Andrew Berry. Please don't forget, if you haven't subscribed already, please, I'd love you to like, share. That's it, isn't it? Like, yeah, subscribe, thumbs up, share, leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite little mop is to get a nice high finish in these sort of situations. Perhaps you've got something even better than my white nylon brush. I'd love to hear from you, and also smash that little bell icon if you want to be notified when films go live on our YouTube channel. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. My name's Andrew Berry. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.